good friend,
Laine Donaly.
Yes, he's here. Tonight, well, midday currently, we will be reviewing the next film in the critically acclaimed and audience-approved Avengers: Age of Ultron. Let's start with the things that have changed. There are a few new characters, some more consequential than others, and some better than others. Which ones do you want to start with?
Well, let's talk about the obvious two.
Yes. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
Played by Aaron Taylor-Johnson and Elizabeth Olsen, respectively.
7 points to Gryffindor. I'm just going to play the clip from the X-Men review that we did a year and a half ago. That I noticed, which not a lot of people are talking about, which I just find really awesome, is that Evan Peters is cast as Quicksilver in this film. Now, he was also in Kick-Ass as Aaron Taylor-Johnson's friend. Aaron Taylor-Johnson is going to be the Quicksilver in the Avengers 2. Now, this should mean something. Like, Avengers gets the superhero and X-Men gets the superhero's friend. But no, it doesn't really. Honestly, Aaron Taylor-Johnson has quite a mountain to climb at this point. The more you know. The more you know. So yes, you've just found that out. Very interesting, isn't it? Now, after I have now experienced both performances, I can safely say that Evan Peters was a far better Quicksilver. Not to say he's a better actor. I think they're both fine actors. They were both great in Kick-Ass.
So the only purpose he served was to
facilitate
Sister's
character.
arc. Yes, Elizabeth Olsen, who was actually a
very good and competent and heartfelt character.
Yeah, she was A, relevant to the plot.
Yes.
B, interesting, and C, pretty.
Yes, in a very PG.
In a very PG kind of way.
And the inclusion of
the title character, Ultron, as played by Blacklist's James Spader, who was probably one of the better villain characters of recent memory.
It's my favourite villain since the Joker. He's fantastic. I thought that his character was going to be more throwaway than he actually turned out to be.
Yeah, I was honestly going in there expecting grand monologuing villains, you know.
But it's really funny, he almost starts a monologue.
Almost does.
I was going to explain to you my evil plan.
And that was brilliant. But yes, James Spader was definitely a very likeable villain. It was very... His purpose was well realised.
Like 5 minutes into his grand sort of pitch of the idea to the audience, you'll find yourself agreeing with him.
Yeah.
And you'll stop agreeing with him unless you're Hitler. He's articulate and he's cunning.
And he's intelligent. And most of all, he's actually a threat.
Yeah, he's a full-on threat. It's not just some distant thing like Loki or... I'm just gonna... also, he doesn't copy the Joker! The first villain in 10 years not to copy Heath Ledger. Okay, well, enough of the new guys. Let's get back to the original. The good old dogs. They were all handled equally as well as the new guys.
Yeah. I think that they actually got kind of more a bit of an arc.
Yeah. All of them have arcs.
Yeah.
One was more bizarre than most.
Hawkeye as a character actually.
Yes, Hawkeye is now a character instead of a cardboard cutout.
Yeah. It was great. I mean, he stepped into his own as a full member of the team, as opposed to kind of just someone who follows orders. It was
really nice that they actually deal with that in the movie, like, oh, do they need you and stuff like that. But yeah, moving on. It's the action.
The main point of any blockbuster movie.
It's very well framed, well paced, well choreographed. Action. It's all mostly done in a computer, as we know from the year 2015 last time I checked. So it's a big cartoon. It's a very expensive cartoon.
The majority of the action scenes do have a nice sense of weight.
Yes,
them, you know.
They have a much greater sense of
stakes.
yes. It was very well paced, flashy. The pacing was It had a very nice organic
nice
curve.
flow to it. Yeah.
I felt that the middle was a bit Walking Dead syndrome-y. It seemed to be just for a very weird section of the movie. It was just two characters are currently in a room and arguing at each other about their contrasting points of view.
Never for a moment did it kind of meander or feel too long.
I bet it'll be the second most fun you have this year. Fun with this movie. It's an incredible ride, much improved over. Okay, we're done with the good. Let's get on to the bad, and especially the ugly.
The thing that jumped out to me the most was the thing that was supposed to jump out to me, but didn't jump out to me. That is the 3D.
Yes! The 3D, I'm not sure if it was the theatre that we were in.
However,
However, it was an IMAX theatre, let me add that. It was the worst 3D I've ever seen. It was blurry at points.
Yeah, I didn't take as much offense as Nick did, but I feel it kind of really jumped out at me. Like, there were points in the movie where something that was in focus was a bit blurry, so I had to judge my glasses. I was like,
It was in an IMAX theatre. I just like 2D. I don't like 3D. 3D can go to hell quickly and swiftly and be molested by yaks for the rest of its existence. I don't like 3D. It should take 3Ds up its A. Yes.
So there was a romance sideplot between two of the main characters that was not
It's
well handled.
It's not a spoiler because it's public knowledge that it's Scarlett Johansson and Mark Ruffalo. It just felt unmotivated.
Yeah, it didn't add much. I mean,
and I'm a dude. I don't know how a chick thinks, but at the same time, I do know there are some constants and variables. For example, there's one constant with all women is that when you stand Mark Ruffalo next to
Chris Hemsworth and
Chris Evans,
maybe there's
no chick will be looking at him.
I mean, yes,
that's all we're gonna say.
He's smarter, but
it was the most out of place scene I think in any movie. It was just bizarre.
It was
creepy and just.
It didn't make a lot of sense. Like, Black Widow is kind of like this cold, emotionless killer,
and now that
she's kind of acting like a.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go as
comic.
far as to say a whore or anything remotely similar, but she's kind of acting like rather flirtatiously.
She's obviously been lonely or something. I don't know.
She's obviously very attracted to Mark Ruffalo
for some reason. I found that another sort of a small gripe. I don't really ever consider these things gripes. It's not like on the same level as a plot hole or something like that. I can look past that very easily.
It's just kind of natural.
It borrows a lot of beats from the first one.
Yeah.
But it borrows the best beats from the first one.
It does borrow very good beats, and you can tell.
But they are still the same beats.
Yeah. Needed to do.
Yeah. No, it's entertaining and stuff like that. But we are in the negatives. Don't take this too harshly. Just. I've got more of a fist aimed at Joss Whedon, not this film.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I don't think that our comments are going to make Joss Whedon cry, so.
No, he's not going to be watching it.
Yeah.
Right, so that brings us nearing the end of your adventures with us.
So overall, I'd give this movie an 8 out of 10. I thought it was a very good movie, a definite improvement over the original Avengers, something that isn't going to be objectively reviewed as one of the best films. My absolute worst thing was, I'll be honest, the romance between Black Widow and the Hulk. That was the only thing that actually kind of bothered me, but it serves its purpose perfectly fine, and I think you'll have a lot of fun with this movie.
Phenomenally good. It's not going to win an Oscar, but then you don't need it to. Yeah. It's just a bucket load of fun. And I think overall, I'm not sure if it's just the hype talking right now,
Possibly.
But right now, as it stands, I'm going to give this movie an 8 out of 10. I loved it that much. Yeah, right now I give it an 8 out of 10. Fantastic, go watch it. You'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
Right, guys, thank you so much for watching our review of probably the second biggest film of the year. Would you like to say goodbye?
Goodbye, guys. Thank you for watching.
Bye-bye! 3D!
Cock Roger. What?